My name is Becky from Inglorious Reviews. After a year trapped in the Arrow fandom making videos, I have come back to YouTube with one goal in mind: to make new reviews. But now that the hiatus has come upon us, I must become someone else. I must become something else. A Teen Wolf vlogger. As I have mentioned before in reviews, I have been a Teen Wolf fan for a few years now. I discovered Teen Wolf the autumn after the second season came out. I marathoned the first and second seasons online in just a few days. I just jumped ship from the Glee fandom, so a show where characters act the same way every week and things that happened last week have a bearing on things this week was just a revelation to me, and I was hooked. I watched the third season religiously every Monday night when it came out. But over time, I began noticing certain issues with the plot and character decisions that the show made, and my enjoyment of it started waning over time. But I still enjoyed it a lot, even with all of its flaws, until Allison died. After she died, it was just like, there's no going back. You can't fix this. There's, like, all the plot and character shows I had could have been fixed over time, could have been forgiven, but there's just no turning back from Allison's death. It completely altered the show for me, for a lot of people, and the show just lost its luster. I kind of knew what would happen in season 4. I watched some of it, and I kind of knew what was going on because people on my Tumblr dash watched it, and I, got updates from them. But there were, episodes and things that I just completely missed out on, and I didn't even care because it just wasn't a lot of fun for me anymore, which was a shame. And when I heard about the things going on in season 5 with the Dread Doctors and Lydia and Eichen House, when I saw those first few minutes that they put online, I was just like, nope, 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 nope. Insert the octopus gif here. I just was like, nope. I don't like when the show goes there with things like Eichen House. This show has shown, Teen Wolf has just proven time and again over the past few seasons that it just doesn't have the stuff to handle heavy issues like mental illness, mental institutions, mental and physical abuse. It just doesn't have the stuff to handle those serious issues in a responsible manner, and it just keeps thinking that it does, just like Glee did. So I was just gonna, check out of this season. But there were things that I saw that did interest me, again, seeing things on my Tumblr dash, I was intrigued by Theo. I do like Scott and Kira's relationship. They're very cute. I like Styles and Malio's relationship. Sumi, I like them together. I like Studia and everything too. But, I like those two together, and I like Liam and Scott's wolf dad, wolf son relationship. It's very cute. So, I was like, what? There are enough pros and cons for me to see what I think of the first episode, and then, make a decision from there as to whether I'm going to watch the rest of the season. So that's what I did tonight, and that's what I'm here to talk to you about. So let's sink our fangs into Creatures of the Night, Part 1. Alright, well, as you all know, as I said, the episode starts out with Lydia in Eichen House, and she's being treated like crap by this female orderly, and she gets taken into a room, and this creepy doctor, gives her some kind of medicine. Okay. And Lydia's in the supernatural ward of Eichen House, and I know she's a supernatural creature, but isn't that ward being used for like a prison? And I mean, we don't know exactly what brought her there, but if she's being held there as a punishment because they think she did something, I don't know. But like, if she's just being held there for mental illness, shouldn't she not be in the prison ward? Like, she's like an 18-year-old girl. What are they doing? I don't know. So it's pretty obvious that Eichen House is just really shady. I mean, last season, with Deaton being involved, you would think that I kind of thought that maybe it was like a legit, like, responsible, supernatural prison mental health, place or whatever. But, this season with these people, it's just obviously a really nasty place. I mean, Brunski was there, and, he was a murderer for years and no one noticed, so obviously it wasn't a very well-run place. I mean, Stiles and Malia were just able to walk out of there without anyone really caring, so obviously it wasn't a great place, but I don't know. So the whole thing was just really squicky. I don't like people taking advantage of vulnerable people. I don't like people using their positions just anywhere, like, in media. And this is just a personal issue of mine. I just don't like it when people in positions of power, like, especially like doctors and policemen or whatever else, are using their position to hurt vulnerable people, especially like young kids and women and children and all this, all that. I just don't like it. In any kind of media, so it just really squicked me out. And then, anyways, so Lydia jumps up screaming, and she suddenly has these ninja powers, and she manages to get out when she sees this this vision of Aiden back from the dead. And oh my gosh, okay, they told us, like, we got a spoiler that we'd see a familiar face coming back in the first episode, and everyone was like, oh my gosh, is it gonna be Allison, Jackson, Isaac? Nope, it's Aiden. How you doing, Aiden? No, it's good to see you. How's life at HBO or wherever the hell you ditched us for? Oh my gosh. Of the 5 or 6 names I saw bandied around on Tumblr of who was gonna come back, Aiden was not on the list of people who wanted to see. Oh my gosh. Oh well. Hello, Max Carver. It's good to see you again. No, it was nice to see you again, really, totally. So Aiden comes back, and that shocks her enough to stop her, and she gets taken back into Eichen House. And that whole scene just, really squicked me out. And so then we get flashback. Eichen House is present, and the rest of season 5 is going to be a flashback, which really is an interesting format to go for season 5. If Eichen House just didn't squick me out so much, oh my gosh. So we go back, and all the kids are kind of spread out around town. Stiles and Scott, they're looking after Liam, who they've chained to a tree because he's been having issues with control on the full moon. And Stiles has this big plan where he's trying to make sure that everyone sticks together because he really, really wants everyone to stick together. And Scott's doing that, and him and Scott are trying to plan out colleges and apartments and all that. And Kira is headed back, is stuck on the highway because there's this huge thunderstorm going on. And she's stuck there with her parents, and she's been in New York all summer. I don't know, visiting family or whatever else. So she's coming back, and Malia is with her dad. Oh, we got to see Mr. Tate, Papa Tate. It was nice to see him again. We didn't see him at all last season, which was pretty weird. But we got to see him now, so, he's still alive. Good to see you still trucking Papa Tate. And Stiles and Molly are together still, and they're so cute. And Malia was in summer school, and because her grades weren't very great, and she's not totally sure she's going to get to be a senior. And so, the whole episode basically takes place with everyone trying to get together, all the kids trying to get together and meet up at the high school for the senior tradition where they all put their initials on a shelf in the library. And it was all very cute. Liam and Scott have this great relationship, and Scott is just like the best encouraging wolf dad to Liam, and it's really cute, and he's such a better alpha than Derek. Derek gets mentioned once or twice. Of course, they don't say where Derek is or why he left Beacon Hills or what he's up to now. That's not important. But we do get a few mentions, and seeing his initials on the shelf at the end, which is better than nothing. It's better than what Danny and Isaac got. Oh my gosh. Oh, this show. Oh my gosh, it was just really cute. Like the parts with the kids, like Scott and Kira meeting up together in the rain, kissing each other, and oh, that was so cute. And Stiles and Malia, their scenes are just so cute. All the kids have a really nice, supportive relationships on this show. I really, really liked it. On other shows, there's just like constant drama. Other teen shows, there's just constant drama and constant, like, kids are like, making little digs at each, the boyfriends and girlfriends making little digs at each other. Or there's like this constant, oh, what if he cheats on me? Or what if he breaks up with me? Or blah, blah, blah. But that doesn't happen on this show, and it's so nice. It really is something I appreciate, is like the healthy relationships that the kids have with each other. It's great. So yeah, so there's a new villain in town, and okay, oh my gosh, could they really not find something better than the Dread Doctors? Like the Dread Doctors, really? Oh my gosh. So according to Jeff Davis, these new villains are scientists who worship the supernatural. And I guess they're experimenting on people. They've experimented on the first episode is this villain. First season episode villain is this werewolf who I guess they've experimented on. And they've done something where his claws are huge and they glow. And they're able to suck the life force out of someone. And this guy, he goes after Scott, and I don't know if he has this obsession with Scott, where he wanted to find him, and he's like, well, I want to see the Alpha who broke the arch and took down Deucalion. And I don't know if that's his obsession, or if he's just acting out the obsession that the doctors have with Scott. Maybe a little both, I don't know. And he was alright. And he goes around, he sneaks into Scott's house, and then goes to the high school, attacks Scott and Kira. He almost, this drove me nuts. Scott is a true alpha. He should have so much power. And the first part of the fight where it seemed like Scott was losing, I was just like shouting at the screen, like, are you kidding me? Like, beat him up like you did Peter, what the heck? And then finally at the end, Scott just takes him down and, like, rips his claws out and is like, finally wins, but it's just like, it shouldn't have taken that long for Scott to win that fight. It really shouldn't have. Even though it was pretty badass of him to, at the end being like, you can stay and I'll break something else, or you can run. And then Scott's like, I'd run, honey. Yeah, that was cool. So the Glowy Claws goes back to the Dread Doctors and asks for more power, but the Dread Doctors are like, nuh-uh, you got one chance, now you're fired. And by fired, they mean you're dead, and they kill him, and they stab him, and freaking ravens fly the heck out of his stomach. What the heck? The show is so freaking insane sometimes with stuff like that, and I bet you $5, and we're never going to get a real explanation about the freaking ravens, because it just shows that stuff like that just happens. Oh my gosh. I wonder if it has a connection to the ravens that attacked the school in Season 3. Oh my gosh. So maybe the scientists are like scientific Durocs, kind of. I don't know. Oh, freaking ravens. Oh, this show. So Kira and Scott get back together, and they, at the end of the episode, and Stiles, he just has some serious insecurities. He really does, because when Scott's like, well, I told Kira to just have fun in New York and not worry about anything, and he's like, oh, I bet Kira totally cheated on you. I bet she's sleeping around with a bunch of other guys in New York. And of course, that's not who Kira is at all. Like, oh my gosh. And that's not how Kira's relationship with Scott is at all, but Stiles just, I don't know. He has all this anxiety and insecurities, and sometimes he projects those onto Scott. That whole scene was a little ridiculous. So they get back together, and they're good. Stiles and Mallow are still together, and they're good, which is nice. And Lydia is kind of on her own. Okay, so let's talk about Marish. So they've been doing this whole thing. They did this whole thing last year where they were kind of pairing Lydia and Parrish off together. And they kept making this big deal, like at this point of saying, "Oh, well, Lydia's going to be 18 soon," because at the time it was just like they're trying to make Marish okay by saying, Lydia's 18, and I had a real problem with this because Parrish is a good guy, and I really like his character, and I will admit that Holland Roden and Ryan Kelly they have nice chemistry together. I like their scenes together, but if I just don't the principle of the thing that bothers me is it's just not appropriate for a deputy of the law to be getting into a relationship with a high school student. Like, even if she is 18, there's still that age difference, there's still that power imbalance, and it's not appropriate. Like, people said, oh, well, Steric isn't appropriate because there's this power imbalance with this 20-something dating this high schooler. And you know what? That's right. And if it's not right for Steric to be together for that, it's not right for Marish to be together, even if it's canon or whatever. It would be an actual, like, canon thing. Like, if it's not right for Steric, it's not right for Marish. So I really don't like that relationship, even though, I like their friendship, and I think the actors have chemistry together, and I kind of like seeing them together. For those two to get together in the show at this point, I don't think it would be appropriate, like, because of the power imbalance between them, even though, Lydia's a banshee or whatever, and he is a phoenix, and I don't know if that's meant to even the playing field or something, but I just really don't like the idea of them getting together, and I kind of think maybe the show picked up on that a little bit, because I feel like in interviews, I might be wrong, they were saying that Lydia was going to get an love interest and it wasn't going to be Parrish. So maybe they decided, that maybe that wouldn't be a good idea and they're backing off. But there is still this connection between them or maybe this has something to do with Lydia's banshee powers growing because Parrish, he gets stabbed by glowy claws and he's almost dying and he has this vision of Lydia saying, "Stay with me." And I wondered if that had something to do with Lydia's banshee powers. But then Lydia, she, in the flashback, doesn't show up in real life till the end. When she comes out waiting for everyone at the library. She's already at the school and she's been waiting for them the whole episode. And she's wearing a different outfit than she was in Parrish's vision. So I don't know what that was supposed to signify. Maybe they'll talk about, maybe they'll go into that more in later episodes. So, yeah. So, Parrish's together, Stalia's together, Skira's together. Apparently, Sheriff and Melissa are not going to be together because we saw was this Laps the Sheriff in a promo. I wonder what that's going to be about. So, oh my gosh, like, the fight scenes were cool. Oh my freaking, Kira! In that fight scene, she pulls her belt off and it turns into a freaking sword. That was so cool. Like, seeing that GIF, that promo GIF, or GIF or whatever, on Tumblr before the episode airs is part of what swayed me to watch the episode at all, because it was so cool. Kira is so cool. Oh my gosh. So, yeah, it was just a really good episode. All the stuff with the kids was really cute. All the character stuff, all the fight stuff was cool. The Dread Doctors, even though all the non-con medical stuff just really squeaks me out, they're kind of cool. They're in their weird steampunk way. And Glowy Claws was kind of cool, even though it made no sense what the heck he was doing hiding in the abandoned house. Yeah, I don't know. What was he covered in black blood? Whatever. So it was all really cool. But then the episode ends with Lydia back in Eichen House, and there's this doctor trying to get her to tell her what happens to all his friends, and we see little flashes of stuff going on this season, and then she keeps saying, "I don't remember what happened," and then this doctor, he pulls out a needle gun for trepanation, and he starts revving it towards Lydia, and that's how the episode ends, and it's just like, are you kidding me? People really have gotten into Teen Wolf, that, like I've seen on Tumblr and Twitter and stuff, about how irresponsible this show is about the depiction of mental institutions. Oh my gosh. It just really squeaks me out. The whole thing just really squeaks me out. I mean, I am not here for the first and last 5 minutes of the episode. The Teen Wolf that was the episode that was the first and last 5 minutes of the episode. I'm not here for that Teen Wolf. The Teen Wolf in between those first and last 5 minutes, that's the Teen Wolf I'm here for. The cute, fun, nice show that, kind of weird out there show. That's what I'm here for. But this teen jigsaw wannabe torture porn film that the show has turned into so much. I can't stand it. It really has just ruined the show for me. Like, oh my gosh, watching Scott scream as Kate turned him into Berserker. I'm not here for that. Watching Peter scream as Dr. Valak revealed himself. And I think Peter is trash and deserved to get locked up. But like last season, seeing him realize what Dr. Valak was and like scream towards the camera, I'm not here for that. Oh my gosh, and I was just watching the show. I was watching Kira. When her belt came into a sword, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. How is a show so great and then suck so much at the same time? I don't get it. Why must there be two Teen Wolves? I don't know. There's the Teen Wolf that still has its parts from the fun, campy show it was in season 1 and 2, and then just the mess it became in season 3. There's that too, and it's all mixed in together. And it's just, it's not the same show it was. I mean, I was watching it. It's still in some ways a very good show. That, I was watching the part like with Liam and Kira and Malia, and, especially ever since Allison died, really, it's just a completely different show now. It's like Teen Wolf: The Next Generation, which the show writers, Jeff Davis, has actually said it's like a completely different show, and they're all just so okay with it. The show's lost so much of its roots. But there's still so much that's good about it, and so it's really hard to give up. Ugh. Oh my gosh. So, I don't know if I could give the show a letter grade or not. Half thumbs up, half thumbs down. I don't know. I don't know what a very good grading system would be for a show like Teen Wolf. I really don't. Because it was just so polarizing. Well, there were parts I loathed, there were parts I loved, and I might sneak a peek of the second episode that leaked online before tomorrow, and see what I think. But, yeah, so those are my thoughts on the first episode. I hope you enjoyed my talk. If you have anything that I didn't cover that you'd like me to discuss, if you have any questions for me, feel free to, I'll put this up on my Tumblr too, feel free to ask me, or I might, and I'll message you, or I might, might make another video addressing those concerns or whatever. If you, liked what you heard and you would prefer me to make more videos about the next episodes for the rest of the season, I might do that if enough people want to hear what I have to say. So, well, thank you. Well, you all have a good night. And side note, Tyler Posey is a much better host than Jill Wagner. Like, no shade to Jill Wagner, but oh my gosh, Posey is like 10 times better. Wolf Watch was like 10 times more interesting than it now with Posey and this new set and everything than it was last season. Oh my gosh, they should have made him the host like a long time ago. He was so much better. All right, well, you all have a good night. Watch out for the wolves.